guys! Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this crochet beanie that I have on my head. It's a perfect project for beginners. It makes a lovely gift for the holiday season or to donate if you're into that. Or you could just make it for yourself. It's a wonderfully simple and easy crochet project. If you're an experienced crocheter, you can whip these things out pretty fast. Obviously that's going to be a little bit longer if you're just starting out. But that being said, I'm going to have a written version of the pattern down in the description if you just want to follow that. But let's get into it. The materials you're going to need today are some yarn. I'm using a cream color from the brand Red Heart, but you can use any worsted weight yarn that you can get your hands on. We're going to, of course, need some scissors and a yarn needle for finishing off our ends. And today I am using a 5.5mm crochet hook. With that being said, let's get into it. Alright, you'll want to start with a magic ring, and to make that you want to put your yarn with the tail over your hand. Bring it around the back of your hand and bring it between your pinky and ring finger. Bring it up and then go around to the back again and make an X, and you'll hold that in place with your pinky. Then you want to take your crochet hook and go under that first yarn, grab the second, pull it under, and you want to twist your crochet hook around, and it'll look like this on top of your hand. Then you want to grab that second piece of yarn again and pull it through, and that counts as your first chain one on your magic ring. We're going to be working with double crochets today, so we'll want to chain 2 more to count as 3 chains, and that also counts as our first double crochet. Now we're going to yarn over and put 7 more double crochets into the magic ring for a total of 8. So that's 3. So if we count, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 double crochets. So you want to take that tail from our magic ring and pull it tight. You can see how it brings the work together. Now that we've got our work pulled tight together from our magic ring, you want to take and find the third chain of that first chain 3 that we did. So 1, 2, 3, and you'll slip stitch into that third chain. Right like so. And it'll form a little circle. Make sure you have that pulled tight. And now we're going to be doing a row of increases. So we'll chain up 1, 2, 3. And to increase, you'll put 2 double crochets into the same stitch. So you'll look and see, this here is the stitch that we slip stitched into. So we'll do our yarn over and put a double crochet into that. And our chain 3 counts as our first double crochet, so that counts as 2 double crochets into 1 stitch. For the next stitch, we'll go ahead and double crochet into that. And then we'll put a second double crochet into that same stitch. And we're going to do that all the way around this second row, putting 2 double crochets into each stitch around. Alright, I have 1 more pair of double crochets to go. You can see I have 1 stitch left, so we'll go ahead and put 1 double crochet and then 2 double crochets into that first, or into that last stitch. And now that we have our entire row of increases done, we'll find that 1, 2, 3rd chain and slip stitch in. And that completes our second row. It should look like a larger circle. For the 3rd row, again, we're going to be increasing. So that's 1, 2, 3 for our first double crochet. And we're going to put a second double crochet into that same stitch that we slip stitched into. But since this is our second row of increases, we're going to have 1 double crochet by itself between every increase. So for our next stitch, we'll put 1 double crochet. And that's it. That's the only double crochet that will go into that stitch. But into the next we'll put 2, So 1 and 2. And that's how we're going to continue the row. So 1 double crochet and then 2 double crochet. And I'm going to continue that through the end of the row. If you need to pause or go back, feel free to. This is a learning experience. And I'll see you at the end of this row. I'm almost at the end of this row. I just put in my last single double crochet. I'm going to put 2 into this last stitch, so that's 1 and 2. And I'm going to find that chain, that third chain of my chain 3 at the beginning of the row. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to slip stitch right in there. Make sure I get both layers of yarn on top. And that is my third row completed. We're still doing our increase rows, so we'll chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to put a double crochet into that same stitch that we just slip stitched into. But this time we're going to have 2 double crochets by themselves in between each increase. So we'll go 1 double crochet into the next, then another 1 double crochet, and then we'll do our increase of 2 double crochets. Alright, so let's do that again. 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and 2 double crochets. Alright, one more time. We're going to go 1, 2, and then 2 into the same stitch. And I'm going to continue that through to the end of the row. Alright, I'm almost to the end of the row. I have 2 double crochets by themselves to do. So we're going to go 1 double crochet, and then into that last stitch right there we'll put another. And then again we'll find the third chain of our first chain 3. So there's 1, 2, 3, and we're going to slip stitch right in there. And that completes our 4th row. The next row is again a increase row, so we're going to chain 3 and put a second double crochet into that chain that we slip stitched into. And this time we're going to have 3 double crochets by themselves in between each increase. So we're going to go 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and then 2 double crochets. And there we are. You can see we have 2, 1, 1, 1, and 2. And we're going to continue that through the row, increasing after 3 double crochets. So again, we'll go 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and 2. Okay, and we're just going to follow through to the end of the row like this. Alright, I stopped with just my slip stitch left. This row ended on a increase, and you can see we have 1, 2, 3, and then another increase. We're going to go up 1, 2, 3 to that third chain and slip stitch right in there. And so far, if we flatten it out, this is what our work should look like. That was our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th row. For the 4th row, we're still going to be increasing for if you're making an adult size hat. If you're making one for a toddler or a small-ish child, you might want to stop here. But I'm going to show you how to make an adult size hat. So we'll chain up 3. 1, 2, and 3. Then we're going to put in another double crochet into that chain that we just slip stitched into. So there is our first increase. And for this row, we're going to increase after every 4 double crochets. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that's for our double crochets that are alone. And now we're going to put 2 double crochets together for our increase stitch. And there you see we have our increase where there's 2 into 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then our increase. So once more, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then an increase. So it's 1 and 2. Alright, I'm going to continue this through to the end of my row, and I'll be back. Alright, I'm at the end of my 6th row, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3 up to that 3rd chain and slip stitch that row together. And that is what our work looks like after 6 rows, 5 of them being increases. Now, if I were making this hat for myself, I would do another row of increases every 5th double crochet. But I have a larger head than most adults. Because of this, if you have a normal sized head, you may want to stop here with a increase every 4 double crochets. If you have a larger head, I would recommend going ahead and making that 7th row of increases. But since I'm going to be donating this hat, I am just going to stop here and go on to my next row without increasing. Alright, so we're going to chain up 3, and now we are done increasing, so what we're going to do is just do 1 single crochet in every stitch around. So we're going to skip that first stitch that we slip stitched into, and we're going to just put our double crochet into the next stitch. And we're going to continue that all the way around until we meet back at our chain 3 with 1 double crochet into every stitch. Alright, here I am with 2 double crochets left. So we're going to put 1 into this stitch, and then 1 double crochet into that last stitch. And we're going to count up to the 3rd, 1, 2, 3 chain, and slip stitch in there. And that completes our first row of doing 1 double crochet in every stitch around. You can see how it starts to make the hat go inward, and that's exactly what you want. Now I'm not going to show you the next several rows because it will get very repetitive. You're just going to duplicate that last row that we did, where you're putting 1 double crochet into every stitch around. So I'll get you started with the last one. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3 with our chains, and then put 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and then we're going to continue with 1 double crochet in every stitch around. And this is just how you want to make your hat longer. You'll want to repeat this row until you reach the length that you want the hat to be. And that really just depends on you, your preferences, and the size of your head, really. Or if you're making it to donate like I am, the requirements for my donation center are that the hat must be long enough to cover the ears. So I will be trying it on periodically, or since I'm making this hat too small for myself, I will be having a friend of mine try it on periodically so that I know how long it is and when to stop. So with that being said, just continue that row and you'll want to repeat it until you reach the desired length that you want. I'll come back when I have my last row of double crochets into every stitch around completed. Alright guys, I have gotten my hat as long as I want it to be. It's bigger than my camera right now, but I made mine long enough that I could fold it up and still have it come down over my ears. Alright, now that we've got our final row, we're going to take that, we're going to put our crochet hook in there and slip stitch into the 3rd stitch up. So that's 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to slip stitch. And now we're going to take our scissors and cut off a few inches, just enough that we can properly weave in the ends. And then what I always like to do is take and make a chain and then just pull that chain completely through and pull my tail tight. And that is your hat. All we have left to do is weave in the ends. For that, we're going to need a yard needle. And I'll first weave in that end that we just made. So go ahead and thread your needle. And then since we're at the top of a double crochet, we want to weave into the bottoms. So I'm going to take and weave my stitch through a double crochet like so, pull it through, and then I'm going to come over here and just go between the bottoms of the double crochets. I'm going to go down several. And that's about all my needle can hold. So I'm going to grab the other end and pull it through. Right, now my piece is getting a little bunched up, so I'm going to bring it out. And now I'm going to take that end and rethread my needle because it came out. And then I've shown you this in my other tutorials, but for added security, I like to go not into the stitch that my yarn is coming out of, but the other side of that same stitch, and then just go back down as many of the bases that I can. There, that looks like a good number. So I'll go ahead and pull my needle back through. Alright, and you can see that I have a little bit of a tail, so I want to give that a slight tug, snip off my excess, and then just flatten out my work. Alright, we have one more tail, which is inside of the hat, when left over from when we first made that magic ring. And so you'll take it and you'll go ahead and thread your needle. And you can see how this piece of yarn is coming out of those stitches. You want to go around to the opposite side and take it through the next stitch. And I'm going to work into the circle. Go ahead and pull through. And I'm going to continue going around the circle because I still have quite a tail left. Okay. There we go. And now once I'm back here, I'm going to take that one base of our double crochet, split it in half, and go through just the second one so that I don't just double back and undo the weaving that I just did. This one's being difficult. And now I just pull through, and I'm going to go through again these stitches. There we go. Pull through. And since this is the base of our magic ring, it's hard to pull it tight, but you still want to pull it as tight as you can and snip off that excess. Alright, I hope you enjoyed today's video and that you created a wonderful beanie for yourself or someone else. Let me know down below in the comment section what tutorials or just videos in general you would like to see next. I'm open to any suggestions, be it crocheting related, painting, vlogs, anything really. And it doesn't even have to be content that you've already seen on this channel. Just let me know what you guys want to see because I love making videos. Alright, with that being said, please comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see next. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe so that you don't miss my next video. I'm trying to upload on a weekly basis. I am in college, so I don't know how long I can stick to that, but I am trying my best. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see y'all next time. Bye!